Alrighty, here we go. YouTube in 3, 2, 1. Any day now, YouTube. Here we go. Hello, everybody. It's Matt from RollCaribbeanBlog.com. Thank you for joining us here on YouTube. Happy Monday, everybody. Happy Labor Day. Glad to have you here as we talk about the most important thing in the whole wide world. It's, of course, going on a Royal Caribbean cruise. We're going to answer as many questions as we can today. Start with the most important question. How many days until your next Royal Caribbean cruise? Type your countdown in chat. Let us count down together. I've got, now that it's September, I'm going on a cruise this month. About 3 weeks to go until the, actually 20 days exactly. It's really easy math this month. Until I go on Utopia of the Seas for the President's Cruise, my first ever President's Cruise coming up. Very excited for that one and excited to get back on Utopia. I've not been on Utopia since like February or something. Crazy. Before our broadcast began, we had an amazing, epic, can't believe it's not butter super chat from Captain Bob Dickens. Woo! Thank you, Captain Bob. Captain Bob says, hello from Icon. Your tips have helped so much. I'm up $20,000 in the casino. Holy smokes, Captain Bob. That is amazing. You know, my Royal Caribbean cruise advice is guaranteed to save. No, I will never say that. But I am so glad, man. 20 G's. I mean, quit while you're ahead and invest in a lovely blog. That's all I got to say for you. But that's awesome news. Love that. I see the Teresa McChain is in the chat. Hello, Teresa. Welcome. And guys, we're also here to answer your Royal Caribbean cruise questions, whatever's in your mind. We've got the next hour to answer your questions. Starting with Chicago GP. Thank you for the super chat. November 1st, Freedom of the Seas 5-nighter has Nassau and Labadee. I know we won't know until we know, but what are the possible ports we rerouted to instead of Labadee? I mean, in the past, we've seen places like Nassau, Coco Key, Sea Day, a random port in the Dominican Republic, you know, Puerto Plata. The other one that I can't think of its name, Turks and Caicos. So basically anything in that general area. There's a lot of options that are there. Josh, how long does it take for someone to sit through a lunch for hibachi at a Cozumel Mariner? Booked a lunch for my wife and I, and curious, the reservation is 2 hours. It's not quite 2 hours. It'll probably take about, usually over an hour, closer to like 90 minutes or so. So figure 90 minutes plus or minus 10 minutes. Depends on how quickly people are seated and all that. So, yeah. Todd Weichman. Hello, Todd. It's good to see you. Susan Westfall, great to see you as well. Welcome. Yeah, Captain Bob really coming in big on that's amazing. My neighbor Kenny, glad I hit the subscribe button. I would have forgotten today about being Monday. There you go. Remember, subscribe to get notified that it is indeed Monday and we are live. Yes, indeed. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We got lots of great countdowns in here. We've got Bills fan 72, 369 days till Odyssey. Arnell, 117 days. Michelle Stevenson, 159 days. Don and Judy are here. KJ is here. Welcome, guys. All right. I'm ready. I'm warmed up. Let's answer some cruise questions for all of you. Lots in the chat here. NPR, if I have 5 p.m. dining, can I just skip my seating and show up at, say, 7? No, because basically that 5 p.m. time is a slotted table for you. At 7, they have a slotted table for somebody else. So probably not. You can certainly ask, but you should not be as cavalier as to say, oh, don't worry about it. We can't make 5 o'clock, honey. We'll go to 7 o'clock. It'll be the same difference. It doesn't quite work that way. Cowboy Valley is here. Hello, Cowboy Valley. Good to see you as well. Amber, can I take a tumbler on board with liquid, or does it need to be empty? It needs to be empty because obviously they don't want you to bring alcohol on there. But yeah, you could definitely bring a tumbler on board. That's totally fine. Let's see here. Lots of people have great countdowns coming up. Becky Menken from MEI Travel is here. Happy Monday. Gotta love a holiday. Nice way to start the week, right? Love that. NYC Lover for life in the house. 14 days till Wonder of the Seas. Man, you're going on a cruise quicker than I am. That's just not fair. Next question is from Gula. What should I expect on a first cruise? I mean, we could spend like hours here answering this particular question. I mean, there's a lot, and I don't know that we can really do your question justice other than you should watch a lot of our videos here on this channel to get an idea of what to expect. I mean, it depends on a lot of factors, right? Your ship, whom you're cruising with, your itinerary, what your plans are in port and on shore. I mean, on board rather. It seems like an easy question, but you might as well have asked me like, what should I expect living in New York? It's kind of like, well, it depends on a lot of things. And I feel like that's kind of the best way to answer your question. Malt 99 going on Star this Saturday. Nice. Love that. We have some super chats here. Cape Crucero, thank you for the super chat. 130 days till Utopia, 377 to Allure. Thanks for all the tips and hope to catch you in person one day. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. And I think we have one more. Oh, yeah, Christopher Biona coming in with the super chat. I saw lots of sandy people enter the pool at perfect day. Is it proper etiquette to use wash stations before entering the pool? Officially, yes. I will admit, I'm going to say it. I've gone from beach to pool without, sanding off every iota of sand on me. I don't want to say sorry, not sorry, but I don't know. Theoretically, yes. If you're coming in covered with sand, there are shower stations there that are not just for your comfort, but so you're not tracking it all in there. But I mean, let's be realistic. I mean, lots of people are doing that. It's not really like the pool isn't designed for it. Because remember, on Oasis Lagoon pool, they have that special thing on the bottom I don't know what it is, but it's a special material that's a lot more comfy, if you will. So, Karen Carr, thank you for the super chat. We'll be on our first cruise on Star this is over Thanksgiving. Me too. I'll see you on board. You'll be there too. Yeah, well, I will definitely be on there, Karen. So, come look for me at either Dueling Pianos. Well, probably not Dueling Pianos. Not because I don't love Dueling Pianos, but because Teresa McShane will not be there to reserve a seat for me again. And I kind of got used to that. But I'll be at the pub. But yeah, Dueling Pianos is not a bad place to be. So yeah, for sure. And I think we have one more super chat that came in. Oh yeah, Cruisin' Chris M. Thank you for the super chat. 282 days of vision. What keeps me going is I have 4 other cruises with other lines before then. Happy Monday. Thanks for all you do. Well, I'm glad you're here, Chris. And listen, whatever passes the time, you're on other lines. I'm not here to pass judgment. That's what the rest of the chat is for. But that's awesome. Love it. Ray and Nancy, club member for 18 months. Any idea when we'll get an event itinerary for the Oasis group cruise? Thanks for all your info. It's Becky Mengen's fault. I have the itinerary ready, but she's been holding things up. So, yeah, soon will be the answer. And by the way, Ray and Nancy, you reminded me, not that Becky's holding back things, but ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a club, Royal Caribbean Blog Club members only stream next week on Monday, right after our live here. So we'll do our regular live at 7:30. And then at 8:30, we're going straight into a club members only stream. So we'll say goodbye to Kenny and hello to Craig, and we'll be live and continuing the fun. It's like nonstop, my friends. 2 hours of back-to-back lumped in, Tony staying up late, cruise chat fun. So that'll be next Monday, 8:30, following immediately after this broadcast over there. So yeah. Blue Porpoise, help! I have no cruises scheduled. Someone needs to do a wellness check on me immediately, bruh. You gotta book a cruise here. I mean, even Erica has a cruise booked. You gotta have one booked. You gotta have something to look forward to. That's really important. Justin Oken from MEI Travel is here. Hello, Justin. Didn't see you walk in. Pascal, hello. Good to see you as well. Welcome. Let's see here. Alexis King Smith. Thank you for the super chat. Hello from the Ryan Bean on Star. Hope your day is going great. It is going great, but now that you're on a ship and I'm not, I feel like it could have been much better. But I hope you're having a great time. I love the Ryan Bean. When I was on embarkation day, I went to the Ryan Bean, met up with the aforementioned, I don't even know if he's in the chat. Kenny is even here. Craig Hart and some friends, Ashley and Maureen, Evie. We had a lovely cocktail. Well, they had cocktails. I had a bottle of water. But we were hanging out at the Ryan Bean, and that is a vastly underrated bar. Even if you don't want coffee, it is a really nice bar in a beautiful area. Gotta love that quite a bit. Rai, thanks for being a club member for 16 months, my friend. Just off Liberty, 48 Days of Symphony, which will make me diamond. Early congratulations. I saw your post about Liberty changes. I'm surprised they are getting rid of on air and keeping the chapel. What else surprised you? Yeah, that is surprising, actually. So I did a podcast. I recorded a podcast episode about this exact topic, right? And but I missed the part about the chapel. That is super bizarre. Probably the biggest surprise that I did pick up on. No playmakers. Like, why? It's on Freedom and Independence. It makes them money. People like it. I don't know why they didn't put playmakers on there. That was truly bizarre to me. Almost more than anything there. So yeah. Wizard, look for you in the mason jar on Utopia. Heck yeah, that's where I will be for. Although I say heck yeah, I mean I will be there. Let's not pretend I won't be there. But in the Schooner Bar, the lovely Jennifer Hart will be performing, and I'm not a Schooner Bar person, but for Jennifer Hart, I'll be going down there a little bit. So yeah, I'll split my time. But the mason jar is where I'm going to be because those drinks are so good. Michael B, I heard the key got updated. It did. Do you think it's still worth it? The changes that they added were not tremendous. They're nice. They are indeed added value. I don't think either of the two changes really makes a giant difference. But I'm actually, listen, ladies and gentlemen, you all know me. I am a man of science. I am here for research. I just want all the kids at Windermere High School to know that when you go to school and you study math and science and whatever Mr. Ben teaches, one day you can use those things to apply this to scientific research on a cruise ship. And I will be researching the key on Utopia of the Seas. That's right. I've taken it upon myself to buy the key once again and test it out to answer this question right here. So in the name of research, I'm taking it upon myself to check that out. So we will see on that. We need Royal Caribbean blog hats added to the store. I mean, I could do that. That's really not a problem at all. Just remind me after the chat, and I can definitely do that. Melanie, is the food completely included at the Aquadome Market on Star? It is. Yes, absolutely. Oh man, thank you for the super chat. But Jahazio, hope I said that right. Thank you for the super chat. Let me see if I can find your message here, my friend, because I don't see a message. Oh, I found it. Go to Cozumel first time on Freedom of the Seas, the end of September. What would you pick? Paradise Beach Club, Nachi, or have you heard of a Bureau Star? Yes, I've been to all three. I went to a Bureau Star like in 2018, 2017. It's been a while. Nachi is not as good as it used to be. I really feel like Nachi Kokum is not what it used. It's not great anymore. It used to be really good. Paradise Beach. I listen. You all know that I used to have a relationship with them. I don't anymore. I think I still have my video playing, but I don't have we don't have any business arrangements or anything like that. Anyway, the point is I love Paradise Beach. I think it's fantastic. I've been going there many a time. I was going there before they were a sponsor. I went there while they were a sponsor, and I've been going there even after they were a sponsor. I even brought my neighbor Kenny, and that, let me tell you something. Mr. Kenny has a lot of high standards, and I think they met his standards there. I really think Paradise Beach is the way to go in Cozumel for sure. That's a compliment, Kenny. I wasn't insulting you. I really do believe that you like that. So yeah. Let's see. Is Perfect Day in Mexico happening? Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And what are your thoughts about it? I can't wait. I think it's going to be amazing when it opens right there. TC, thank you for the super chat. 26 still icon and in Star Class. Hello, me likey. I have two family members in balcony. Can they enter with us on embarkation day at the cruise port in Miami with our genie? I don't want to leave them alone. Technically, no. The answer is they can't. I mean, this is like there's a gray area with the genies. Officially, the genie benefits, the Star Class benefits, the services of the genie are only for you who are the Star Class cruiser, right? That being said, has it happened as a scenario like this occurred and the genie said, yeah, sure, just bring them along? Probably, because there's no cost to Royal Caribbean. It's not like you're buying them a steak dinner, right? You're just having them follow you in. But I don't know that, I can't promise you that. And Royal Caribbean's official policy would be no. But in practice, it's a different story. And I feel like sometimes they kind of look the other way. Obviously, you could wait. You could say to your genie, listen, I know this is part of the service, but we're going to wait for our friends when it's their time to board. Keeping in mind, by the way, that when you're boarding on Icon, I mean, embarkation is pretty quick. So, you could easily show up a little later, like 11:30 or so, 11:30. And by that point, I think everybody would be allowed on board. So, yeah. Why do I have beef with Travel Spree? I think Fane knows what he did. I think as two extremely handsome gentlemen, we both were like, listen, man, only one of us can have blue hair. And I was like, I want the blue hair. And he's like, no, man, this is my thing. And then it's just been like, middle school sharks and jets snapping fingers at each other, the sort of things that always go on here in the cruise blogger extreme nerdum fights that we have here. I mean, it's like, woo, you should see the kids at Windermere High School are like, man, I'm messing with those two guys. They're real. They're street mean over there. David P, thank you for the super chat. 3 weeks to President's Cruise. When do you find special entertainment? Does it conflict with your shows? That's a good question. I mean, as you probably know, Royal Caribbean has released at least some basic stuff, but not like specifically like we're doing this event in this time, just like some themes to each of the days. But the answer is very close to your sailing. See, by the way, I just want to point out that everybody gives me like, where's the group cruise activities? Royal Caribbean takes even longer than us to come up with the exact schedule of activities for their President's Cruise. So it's both Becky Menken and Michael Bailey's fault. But the answer to your question is we don't know exactly when the special entertainment schedule will be out. It could be even the week of the cruise. I mean, I think traditionally it's always taken a while. So, the key is be flexible, right? And I would argue if you're there for the President's Cruise, if you have the choice, if there's an event that sounds interesting on the President's Cruise side and it conflicts with your Aqua Show, I'd skip the Aqua Show. You can see the Aqua Show on any Utopia sailing. You can't do the President's Cruise stuff there. As long as it interests you, I'd definitely go for that. Next question. Lots of great questions here so far. Matt got the key. Matt got the key in the name of science. I do it like every year to, check it out. And with the change, I was like, well, here you go. Christopher Biona. Thank you again for the super chat. How does it work with new ships like Star? Do they ever switch to 3-night runs in year one or just stick with the set schedule usually? Usually it's with the set schedule. I mean, ship itineraries in general, Chris, don't really have that much of a pattern to them. Usually new ships, of course, begin with 7-night runs. It's the Oasis class, Chris, that have flipped that script a little bit when Utopia came out. But Utopia was not purpose-built, but they knew that well in advance. That was the plan. But like when Oasis 7 comes out in 2028, I would be pretty surprised if they started it with 3-night runs, unless they move like, Utopia or Wonder over to like China or something like that, and then free up a slot for it. But I wouldn't go as far to say, to answer your question, that there is necessarily a definite playbook. I think they take every ship on an individual basis, whether it's brand new or not. Chris G reacts. I'm looking at a cruise next year. Do you think it would be better to sail from Port Canaveral, only an hour drive, or take the Brightline to Fort Lauderdale, Miami because of the cruise ship? I don't know that one is inherently better than the other. I wouldn't necessarily look at it like that. Yeah, it's really nice if you can just do a drive. Like I live in Orlando, and I suspect your 1-hour drive, it means you're in the Orlando area. So it's very convenient. So yeah, in a vacuum, absolutely. But if it was the choice, Chris, between a 20-year-old ship in Port Canaveral or like an Icon class ship in Fort Lauderdale or Miami, I would pick Fort Lauderdale and Miami. You want to go for the best. It's like an NFL draft. You want to go for the best option left on the table to pick from. And I think for new cruisers, the newest ship is definitely the play right there. So good question. Mystery Shadow, welcome back. Trina's Staycation. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. Is Harmony worth the money for a balcony oceanside? I plan on solo cruising 27. So why does Royal Caribbean charge me for 2 people when I'm a solo cruiser? It's so unfair. Does it have an aqua theater? Also, is it better to book directly with Royal Caribbean? Great questions. I'm going to answer questions in reverse because I think it's easier to answer those questions in reverse. Number one, is it better to book directly with Royal Caribbean? No, you're actually doing yourself a disservice. Book with a good travel agent. We have a couple of travel agents in the chat from MEI Travel. They're fantastic. The reason why they're better, Trina, is they're going to provide you better service, save you money, maybe get you a special group rate, and they'll save you time. Trust me, you want to go with a good travel agent, number one. Number two, does Harmony of the Seas have an aqua theater? They do. Number three, why does Royal Caribbean charge me for 2 people when I solo cruise? It is unfair, but that's the model the cruise industry has. It's what's called the single supplement fee. Basically, Royal Caribbean assumes that every cabin it sells will have at least 2 people in there. When there's not, when you're cruising solo, they charge you the difference to make up for it. As a solo cruiser, sometimes I can tell you it stinks, but it is what it is. There's nothing else you can really do about it. I mean, some ships, Trina, including Harmony, do have solo cabins designed for single cruisers that don't have a single supplement fee, but they're very hard to find. And in many cases, they're not actually that cheap. So it's kind of a wash on that. And it's Harmony of the Sea is worth the money for a balcony oceanside. There's a lot of folks out there with different opinions on, is a balcony worth the extra money? I kind of feel like, sure. It depends on how much more money, really. Is it like $200 more? Sure, then that's worth it. Is it $1,000 more? Probably not. But for some people, they'll say, you know what, Matt, I want it no matter what. Some people say, I'd rather save that money and use it on something else as part of the cruise. So there isn't a right or wrong answer. But yeah, let me get a drink of water here. And by the way, cheers to Mr. Mark McChain in the chat. Let's see here. Ray and Nancy, thank you for the super chat. So the real question is, does Oasis have Heidi's Beer House? Great question. I think they do. I thought somebody said they do, but I don't know that for a fact. Let's put it that way. Hey, Bailey, on the new ships, the mini ship models have new box designs. Will they be making this change to all the models available on other ships? I don't think so. I think honestly, Bailey, I think the older ship designs, they just order the same ones. I know what you're talking about. I have it over there. It's like a flap as opposed to a box. I think it's just, I highly doubt it, but I mean, Royal Caribbean hasn't told me one way or another. So yeah. Josh giving us a plug to MEI Travel. Not Josh from MEI, but there's an agent whose name is that, but this is a different Josh. But yeah, they're fantastic. Couldn't agree more. NYC Lover for Life. Yeah, in the name of research, I'm doing a cruise every month for the rest of the year. In the name of research. Good man. That is, do you see Erica? Do you see this? This is what we do here, right? And he doesn't even work for me. Love it. Let's see. Great questions so far, guys. And we still have another 40 minutes to go. So we're here to answer more of them. Doug, I saw Royal Caribbean will be sailing out of New Orleans, my home port in 26. What ship is coming? I'm not sure off the top of my head which one it is. You'd have to look it up. But Royal Caribbean does use New Orleans as a seasonal home port, meaning they don't offer it year-round, but usually in the wintertime, they do. Nismail, do Star Class guests get to Royal Loft bid? If yes, then what are the odds of landing the Royal Loft suite? They do, and the odds are pretty low. I mean, basically, you need somebody to cancel that kind of a suite at the very last minute. And, I mean, I don't care what kind of cabin you're canceling at the last minute. You're going to eat money as part of that cancellation. But when you're canceling a Star Class suite, that's a lot of money you're leaving on the table. And as for like unsold, I've been on cruises, Nismail, where going like the week of the cruise, there was a Star Class room available for like, $80,000 and somebody booked it. I mean, it's crazy, but yeah. Oh, we love Travel. Travel Suite's great. Fane and Laura are wonderful people. Fred, can you tell us the difference between the Icon and Oasis Star Class? It's more or less the same base core experience, Fred, really and truly. What's included and all the things are the same. The only difference is some of the venues. Like, as you know, Utopia and Wonder have a true suite sun deck. Icon and Stardew, but like Oasis and Allure have sweet sun decks, but I don't think they're nearly as good. But they're really like minor things. But truly, the core experience is exactly the same. Rara, have you looked into Celebrity River Cruises coming soon? I have. I mean, as much as I can, because there's like zero information right now. But I am planning on putting a deposit down in order to book something, I hope. But honestly, I don't even know what to expect. I was reaching out to some friends, and we're kind of like, we'll see what happens. We'll see what's available, times, prices. I'm worried the price is going to be really high, and I'm also worried. Don't forget that in 2027, Icon 4 will be out, and I don't know when that is going to be. So I don't want to put myself in a situation where I'm booked on a river cruise, but I need to be on Icon 4. That would be a problem. Jen Green from MEI Travel is in the chat. Hello, Jen. Welcome. Wild Type, is Royal Beach Club worth it? What goes there might make it worth the money? Well, if you're talking about the new beach club that's coming to Nassau, I don't know yet. It's not open. I have not experienced to be able to tell you if it's worth it. I will say I have it booked right now. I'm excited for it. I think it's going to radically change what the experience is in Nassau right now, because right now it stinks. There's like nothing to do there. It's like the same old seedy bars, over expensive beach club day passes, and some mediocre local attractions. And I think the Royal Beach Club for cruisers will be a huge win. So I'm really very much looking forward to that. Slew Dog, thanks for being a club member for 7 months. 62 Days till Star, our most anticipated cruise ever. When will show? It's up for reservations. Right around a month or so. It's maybe even a little closer to sailing. Just off Adventure of the Seas, are you familiar with the pianist Juan and pub singer Craig Elliott? They're fantastic. I am not, but I'm glad to hear that you like them. That's wonderful. I'm always looking for good entertainment on any cruise I go on. So it's always good when you go on one that people are saying, hey, those folks are great. Instead of like, well, at least you can catch up on sleep, you know? Nightme 21. Do you think Perfect Day Cozumel or the Cozumel Beach Club will be offered on shore cruises out of Galveston? Yes, at least on the shore cruise out of Galveston will be like the 4-nighters. That goes to at least goes to Cozumel, excuse me. So yes, absolutely. As for the Costa Maya / Perfect Day Mexico, that usually isn't on a 4-night sailing. So you would have to go a little longer than that. But at least one out of the two, yeah, for sure. I think it's part of it. Oasis or Icon class ship offering. That's the rumor. I mean, we already know there are Oasis class ships in Galveston, so no doubt about that. But definitely the thing Royal Caribbean has been hinting at is an Icon class ship in Texas. I would say, in my opinion, knowing nothing more than you all do, I think it's an inevitability there'll be an Icon class ship there. The question is, will it be there in 27, 28, or some other year? I'm not sure. But I think it's all but confirmed at this point. Let's see. Our next question. Eric, do you have any videos for casino tips on Star? I don't have a specific video for casino tips on Star. We do have videos about the casino program in general, and that applies to Star of the Sea. So yeah, check out our channel for that one. Correct, Nelly, they're not, which is really bizarre if you ask me. Yeah, so truly bizarre. Next question. Hey, Chicago GP, thanks for becoming a club member for 1 month. Love that. Do you have a trick to see which cruise ships are in which ports at the same time for future dates? There are like 2 or 3 websites that are out there. Cruise timetables, Cruise TT. If you cross-reference them, you'll usually get a consensus. Sometimes they're inaccurate, but I feel like recently they've been really good about being accurate. So just check out one of those websites and just double check more than one, because if they both tell you the same thing, or 3 of them tells you the same thing, then it's probably true. Are there any 4-night cruises for Orlando? Yes, Utopia of the Seas. Utopia of the Seas does those. So yeah, absolutely. According to Teresa, Oasis does have Heidi. So I am very excited for that one. It's going to be amazing. Can't wait for that cruise. Let's see. Our next question. Lots of great questions here. And everybody's saying hello to Nelly, which I don't blame him for. Nelly's a wonderful person. Casper, thank you for the super chat. Can I share my drink if I get the drink package? No, that's strictly against the rules in all seriousness. You can get your drink package canceled without a refund if you do that. Slew Dog, in the name of research, you buy the Star Chalice. Whew. No thanks. All the cruising you do, you'll break even in a couple of years. No, I'm good, man. Not only don't need that kind of lifetime drink package, I also don't have 100 G's laying around. So yeah, that'll be a no. But thanks for the recommendation. Russ Crawford, thank you for the super chat, Russ. Happy Monday, my friend. 42 days till Harmony. We're going to spend a couple days in Texas trying to decide between San Antonio and Houston. Can you help break the tie? Tell the family hello. Denise, hello. And other Crawford family members whom I may or may not have met over the years, but Russ and Denise are the coolest. And Talia, of course. Hi, Talia. I've not been to San Antonio. I've been to Houston. I think San Antonio's got a lot more going on than Houston, but I'm not an expert in either of them. So For all the Houston fans that are out there, with apologies to Warren Moon, I would pick San Antonio because I think they have a lovely waterfront. I mean, there's the Alamo, but I think that's a little cliched. I just think they got a little more going on than Houston. Houston's a fun town, though. But yeah, I guess being extremely ignorant of what's available in both cities, I would pick San Antonio. Next question. These are good questions so far. Justice, I might need to book a New Year's cruise to Nassau for research. I mean, listen, these are the things we have to do, right? Absolutely. Hey, Chris, thanks again for the super chat, my friend. Thank you. Do I need to bring a towel for the ship and perfect day, or can I just grab one on the island without judgment? You can do either one, my friend. You should I usually bring a towel with me from the ship anyway, just to reserve a spot. But there are towel stations on board. The problem with the towel stations are they're not necessarily like right by the pool or right by the beach. So you got to know where they are and then go out of your way a little bit. So I'd bring it from the ship. But there's nothing wrong with grabbing one on the island. You would not be the first one by any stretch of the imagination to do so. So knock yourself out if you'd like to. Ethan, just got back from our Northern Cities cruise in Europe. Top 3 favorite cruise ever. First time ever where each stop on the itinerary got better and better. Isn't that amazing? I mean, I did Europe for the first time a couple of years ago, and every time I've done European cruises, I have consistently loved what's available because the breadth of options to choose from. I love the Caribbean, but I mean Europe, and especially when you're in the Northern Europe, and whether you're in Norway or Germany or France or wherever, I love the cultures. I love the food. I love how much there is to see and do there. Yeah, it's fantastic. So love that. Renee Romero, thank you for the super chat. 5 days till Symphony of the Seas. Can't wait. Nice. Love that. Max, are Oasis class ships coming to Puerto Rico? Yes, they fixed that a couple months ago, so you're good to go on that. Jake, is a local fresh going to be on Legend of the Seas? Officially, we don't know the answer to that question, Jake. I would be shocked if there wasn't one yet, but we don't yet know all the. Actually, wait, do we know that? Hold on a second. We have to know that already. Legend of the Seas deck plan. We must know that because you can book a cruise. I was thinking of like Icon 4. Deck 15, I believe. Yes, it's there. I gotta drink. I gotta start drinking some more. Sorry about that. There is. Yeah. Sorry. What are my thoughts on Lalepa? It looks amazing. Pretty chill and relaxing. I don't have any plans on going. I mean, to be perfectly honest, probably not. It's too far out. But yeah. Eric Floyd, best beach day place in Nassau. Thank you for the super chat. So, if your question is today, I would pick. British Colonial was nice. Margaritaville is pretty good, as is the Baja Mar. But obviously, Eric, once the new beach club opens in January or late December, really, of this year, I would pick Royal Beach Club. I think that would be the play right there. Remember, for 2 months now, how can I tell my family to go on a cruise, but they know nothing about cruise, but I know some? Good question, Elohim. So really, when you're approaching this, you don't want to, like, we call it drinking from a fire hose. You don't want to overwhelm them with stuff. I mean, cruises are designed to be pretty easy to understand, pretty easy to navigate. You don't need to have an entire YouTube channel dedicated to cruising in order to understand it or what have you. I will say that I think part of the process, though, the reason why it's helpful to watch videos and do a little bit of research is to understand the basics and avoid common pitfalls. So I would really approach it, quite frankly, as just, sprinkling in bits of information and advice and not trying to overwhelm them with it. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Who is Heidi? Boy, if you have no idea what we're talking about, this is really awkward. Heidi is the name of a slot machine on certain Royal Caribbean ships. It's called Heidi's Beer House. And what makes a slot machine interesting is it has a very, very, very catchy / annoying song it plays when you hit the bonus. And people, Either love it or hate it. Tony hates it, but everybody else loves it. Joe wants to know, what are the criteria to take advantage of a price reduction before final payment for the cruise? You need to be a resident of a certain country that allows for this. So US, Canada, Australia, Germany, definitely not the UK or Ireland. That's number one. Number two, it needs to be for the exact same category. When I say category, I don't mean like balcony. I mean category D4. It's got to be the same exact category. And before final payment date. So yeah, hope that makes sense. Jason, do you think Royal Caribbean will reuse names for any other new ships coming up? I think to some extent, yes. I really believe with Legend of the Seas, it was more of a coincidence. I think they thought they wanted to use the name Legend first and reuse the name second, meaning I think they thought the name was a good name and it just so happened to be a reused name. Like as for Icon 4, I don't know that they will necessarily go back to the pool of retired names. But I don't think, as we've seen with Legend, that they have a hang up with using them. So yeah. Addie, thank you for the super chat. Good evening. What is a good travel credit card for cruising and theme park getaways? Ooh, this question used to be very easy. For many years, I recommended the Chase Sapphire Reserve card, but the changes they've made to the Chase Sapphire card are kind of not great. I'm going to recommend you an article that one of our writers, Allie, wrote. Because I asked her, I was like, she's the credit card expert in our team. I was like, what is the better card now that Chase Sapphire is going the way of Mega Doo-Doo? And I'm going to post the link in the chat. So check it out. I just posted the link in the chat right there. And hopefully that'll help you out. Yeah, Ron says, by the way, I've been to San Antonio and the Riverwalk is loaded with bars. In that life, I've also fallen into the river a few too many libations. Yikes. I've met Ron many a time. I can believe this actually did happen. Let's see here. Ad Bibles or A Dibbles? I think it's A Dibbles. 13 Days of Symphony. I've been on Oasis twice. I think you should try on Symphony, the shows. When you're going between Oasis class ships, the shows are really the most important thing. Also, Symphony has a really nice solarium bar. It's really pretty, especially at night. So check that out as well. Melanie, do you think Royal Caribbean will ever improve the app? I feel like it's not so easy to use. If you don't think the Royal Caribbean app is easy to use, you should definitely check out some of the other cruise line apps. They're terrible. The Disney Cruise Line app is god awful. I do think they're going to improve it. They do work on it. I'm surprised that is your opinion of it. I mean, listen, all apps can be improved. I'm not saying it's perfect by any means. Don't take that as that. I'm just simply saying I think the app has come a long way, and I think it's pretty good in its current state. I wrote an article recently in which I pontificated on certain features I would love to see added to the app, and I hope they were listening for that one. But yeah, they will continue to improve it. But I do believe it's like one of the best, if not the best, cruise line app out there right now in terms of functionality, usefulness, stability, accuracy, things like that. Are they going to continue to cancel La Badee? We don't know. Royal Caribbean, when it comes to these cancellations, plays it really close to the vest. I thought for sure, maybe not. I really thought they were going to not cancel anymore when we got to August, but they did. So who knows what the future may hold, but I was surprised by that. Nonetheless, we don't know the answer. Pressure. Good question. Mark, let me get a drink of water and answer your question. So before I got to load up. 45 days till Independence Transatlantic. What were your favorite spots to visit in London? Great question. Okay, Kenny, where did we go that was really good? Ooh, the British Museum was great. Go there in the morning, like right when they open, for sure. That's the play. British Museum was one. I can tell you, I wasn't even there for it. I took a nap instead, and I think I was right. Well, Kenny, what was was it Uber boat? They took. I was working / took a nap, and my wife and kids and our neighbor went on this boat ride on the Thames, and they thought it was going to be like a 30-minute ride, and it took like 3 hours. There was no shade. They came back like dying. So definitely not that. We did the Tower of London tour. That was cool. I like that a lot. So I think that, in fact, I liked it better than I thought I was. That's number 2. And number 3, maybe I'm alone on this one. We had lunch in Chinatown and I loved it. It was really good food. So there you go. And of course, I mean, you have to go to like a British pub or 4. So no, Nelly, you're absolutely right. Heidi does not pay, but it's a lot of fun to play. I've never had so much fun losing money on that machine. Next question. Hey, Dadabatic, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Did you happen to see tornadoes anywhere on Star of the Seas cruises? No. Do you mean the snacks like they have on Utopia at the spare tire? No. If you mean the weather phenomenon, no, I didn't. And if that's the name of like a movie or something, I definitely didn't see that either. But if you're talking, I think you're talking about the snacks that are at the spare tire on Utopia. And no, as of right now, it's only available on Utopia of the Seas. So, let's see here. Yeah, just as Amex has amazing benefits. The problem with Amex, and the reason why I have the Amex Platinum card. I do like it. The problem with the Amex Platinum card is that it is useless outside the U.S. When you're in places like Europe or the Caribbean, it's not accepted. There are foreign transactions. It's just not accepted. That's the problem. So because of that, it's not a good card for that. You are correct, though. What Joseph brought up a point. I do want to talk about that. Amex regularly offers, not regular, but like, twice or 3 times a year, they have offered like, book a Royal Caribbean, spend $500 in a Royal Caribbean and get $100 back or something to that effect. So that has been a deal. I wouldn't necessarily get the Amex card specifically for travel, but it is not a bad card in general to have. And you are correct. There are some really nice benefits to come with it. I just wish it was like more useful outside the country, and then it would be amazing. But yeah. Any news on the Royal Beach Club opening dates? December 27th, I believe, is the official opening date. So there you go. Tony. Yeah, JC, I agree. The app used to be wonky, but it's really good now. It should have a cruise countdown, though. I agree. That was one of my things I mentioned in my article that I complained about. I think that's a great idea that that'd be better. So yeah. Hey, Carrie, were the facial recognition cabin features working on Star of the Seas? No. There are none. I asked a person at Royal Caribbean, hey, where are those cabins? And they basically said it's not. They're not. There aren't any. I know that was a feature that was supposed to be there. It didn't make it. Don't know why. Don't know what happened. But the reason why you haven't seen any clips of it online is because none of them exist yet. I suspect maybe they've been kicked off. They kicked that can down the road, unfortunately. So, yeah. Is there any reason why my wife Michelle's in timeout here? I have not put her in timeout. This just got awkward. I have no idea. Oh yeah, that was this was the boat thing there. So yeah, don't do the boat tour in London. I would have thought it was a great idea, and I was kind of bummed I didn't go because I had to do some work. But when they got back, I was really happy I didn't. Ron, will we be having a YouTube live during the group cruise? Heck yeah, we will. Absolutely. 100%. Actually, Borough Market, I regret not going to. I remember we had the choice of going to Borough Market, or going to buy Jellycats, and Jellycats won. Did it for the kids. I knew I was doing it for the kids. I was being a good dad, but it was a big mistake, and I regret it. So yeah, Borough Market, really, really nice. Hey, Kelly, do you have a dream back-to-back cruise you want to take? Yes. Ooh, there are probably 2 that come to mind. One is 2 open jaw sailings in Alaska. So go out of Vancouver, do a cruise that begins in Vancouver up to Seward, and then a 7-nighter on the way back. That'd be number 1. Number 2 would probably be this is from Don and Judy. I stole this idea, but since they're not here to defend themselves, I mean, they're in the chat, but they're not here to defend themselves. It's my original idea. I would like to do a transatlantic where I go from the US, do the transatlantic, come into Europe, spend 1 or 2 weeks in Europe on land, whatever. I'll find my time, and then do a transatlantic back. I mean, so you're talking about like a month total, like door to door. You know what I mean? I think that would be a really cool idea. I remember Don and Judy did this like last summer or 2 summers ago because of a weird phenomenon in which one ship was coming in, one ship was coming back, and it weren't lined up really well. So yeah, that would be fantastic. Chris Biona, thank you again for the super chat, my friend. That's like 17 today, I think. What are your upcoming Utopia dining adventures? Whiskey Railway, Hideaway Beach Cabana. I did book the Whiskey Railway. So the Royal Railway has a new option, which is the whiskey tasting. I don't like whiskey, but in the name of research, I will try it out. But other than that, I don't think I have anything, Chris. I did not book Hideaway Beach. I didn't book anything at Perfect Day. I'm there. I'm on the cruise solo. So I don't think there's really much value in it for me to book like a cabana or anything like that. I think I booked a Zoomy because it was cheap on this Labor Day weekend sale, just to lock that in. Because for like, $30, I can make that work for me. But that's about it. So yeah. Beck Hay, man, I love that name. Beck Hay. Can we get ice from a freestyle machine without a soda package? I have never tried this. Where are my kids when you need them? I think they would know the answer to this one. I guess. I mean, theoretically, you need the chip in order to activate the machine to do something. But I think water and ice come out of that machine if you don't have it. So I'm going to go with yes. Yeah. The Amex yearly fee for the higher cards are astronomical. They are extremely high, Evelyn. The thing with it, and the reason why I still have the Amex Platinum, is while they are astronomical, the value you get back in the perks, you can usually break even on, as long as you're aware of them. There are a number, I can't rattle it off the top of my head, but I do feel that I do get my money back out of it, believe it or not. Even though it is like $600, I do believe between access to the Delta Lounge and a variety of other perks that come with it, that I can make it worthwhile because I do travel a lot in the way that I utilize my card. So yeah. I'm not Jeff. I have no problem with Michelle. So this was definitely not me. Definitely a mistake, I think. But yeah, I can take a look at it later. I can't, unfortunately. I don't even know how to look at it right now. But definitely not mad at her. We love Michelle. She's in here like every week. Why would we be mad at her? Walter, how late can you cancel Royal Caribbean excursions still get refunded? About 48 hours is, I believe, the official policy. Glenn, does Royal Caribbean re-listen to your podcast seem like a golden marketing focus group? I mean, I would think so, but I can't speak for them. So yeah. Hey, Chris, what excursion would you recommend for St. Thomas, Magens Bay? That's if you've never been there before, Magens Bay. But otherwise, St. John. I love St. John. It's absolutely beautiful. I want to have my good friend Russ Crawford there with me, but he won't book a cruise with me anymore. It's really sad. Let's see here. Next question. Jelly cats, are they tasty? Brian, if you book a 4-device internet package share with family, do you get 4 separate logins? No, you get 1 login, and it allows 4 devices to be logged in. So basically, it's 4 devices concurrently with 1 login. Joseph Helmy, thank you for the super chat. Missed you on Star, but thanks. Your videos got me cruising 9 months ago. Star was my diamond cruise, and I have 6 more booked this year. That is awesome. I'm so glad to hear you have some great lineups right there. And you turned diamond. Congratulations. I'm just surprised we didn't run into each other, because I think I ran into like 7 million other people on board, which was wonderful. There were so many cool people that I met on board, and it was like walking down the promenade, and it was just so nice to meet folks and say hello. And I'm sorry we didn't get a chance to meet, but for everybody I did meet on board, it was really, really nice. I really enjoyed it. So it was a fun cruise. What have I ever done or would I ever consider doing Panama Crossing? That's like one of my top must-dos for sure. But I've not done it yet. We were supposed to do one a couple of years ago, and then Tony Diaz ruined it for all of us. We couldn't go. But yeah. Hey, Michelle made it into the chat. Hello, Michelle. Welcome. You've been not untimed. I don't even know what happened there, but welcome back. We got a drink of water. Ryan says you can get ice for sure. Thank you, Ryan, for confirming that. Appreciate that. We got 10 minutes, guys. If you've got questions to get in here, lock them in, because we're going to wrap it up here in about 10 minutes. So Here we go. Holly, sailing on a rated 17 days. Haven't sailed on her since 2011. Need big changes since then. No, not really. Dan, 531 days till our Western Caribbean cruise at Indy. Is Nassau's Blue excursion worth it, or should we just go to Junkanoo Beach? I don't love either of them. Our staff writer Elizabeth went to Blue Lagoon and thought it was pretty meh. And I think Junkanoo Beach is just, I don't love it for the lack of facilities. So when you go, though, Dan, what I would recommend is the Royal Beach Club when they open that up. And you'll be in 531 days. That's definitely what I would recommend right there. Which show on the cruise is a must watch? If your ship has an aqua theater, that would definitely be one of them for sure. Brandon, can I get clarification on the check-in process? When we take selfies for ID, can it be a photo saved on the phone? No, it needs to be it won't allow you when you do it. It's only the photo thing there. Checking for a 1-year-old baby, she'll be sleeping at midnight. Don't worry about it, but you don't need to do it. The photos that you do at check-in are helpful and it's a good idea, but they're not necessary, Brandon. So in the case of your 1-year-old, they'll be sleeping. You don't need to do it. Number two, Brandon, don't forget, you can do when you do the check-in process at midnight, with the Royal Caribbean app, you can simply grab the check-in time, save it, exit out, come back the next day, and do the rest of the check-in. So remember, that's also an option for you. You don't have to do all the steps at once if you use the Royal Caribbean app. On the computer, you're right. But and in any case, no matter which way you go about it, you don't need to upload a photo. It just saves you time in the terminals. But for your 1-year-old, don't worry about it at all. You could do it later or wait for the cruise terminal. Let's see. If you could reuse any name on a new ship, it would be Empress of the Seas for sure. I think it's a wonderful name. Hey, Dirk, thanks for the super chat, my friend. With Ovation's amplification, do we think the new rooms replacing the concierge space staff will get a balcony? Yeah, good question. Boy, I would have initially, my gut tells me yeah. But you're right, it doesn't exist now. And knowing Royal Caribbean, because they're cheap, maybe not. Maybe they will be glass. That is an excellent question, Dirk. Is it on the deck plans? Wouldn't we know about that already? Like it would be listed there? What deck is that on? Deck 12, right? Deck, not to be confused with Deck 11. Oh my God. The website is, there we go, 12. Thank you. All right, Concierge Club, correct. And you go there. I don't think so. Based on the deck plans, they look like windows to me. Because if you look at the balconies on both sides that are like the standard balconies that are a little further up in the ship, you can clearly see where there's a balcony. So I'm going to say no. Good question. How can I best leverage the Diamond Concierge? I don't know, Joe. It's a good question. I've rarely ever used them. Most I ever used them for was like, hey, can you? I want to eat at Chops tonight. Can you make a reservation for me? Kind of like spur of the moment, call and make a reservation would probably be the most useful they are. Sometimes they can help you with like import if you want to get off the ship early. Like maybe there's a tender process. They may be able to hook you up with something there. But beyond that, not so much. Dad, Baddick wants to know, does Star of the Seas broadcast the Back to the Future musical on the cabin TVs? No, but they do broadcast the Back to the Future movie in your cabin nonstop. I see we got a super chat coming in from Hazel. Hazel, thank you for the super chat. Are there any Labor Day sales for add-ons to Royal Caribbean? Yes, there's one going on right now, so I would book it like right now. It started a couple days ago, but it's still going on literally right now at this moment. So if you booked it tonight, Hazel, yes, you'd be able to take advantage of that. So yeah, absolutely. Cool. All right, we have time for, if you guys want to do our chat loves doing this sometimes, a lightning round of questions where you ask me yes or no, this or that, Kenny or Craig type questions We'll answer as many as we can in the next 5 minutes as we round things out here. Things like, Izumi or Giovanni's, things like that. And we can do a little lightning round, questions for our folks here. Bo wants to know, though, considering the soda package for my kids, are Shirley Temples included with it? No. Shirley Temples would fall under the refreshment package. The soda package is literally just soda, like a can, a spurt, and of course the machine right there. So yeah. Star or Icon? I mean, my favorite chip is still Icon of the Seas. I like Star, but they're so similar. It's like, yeah. Chips Ahoy or Oreos? I think it's got to be Oreos, right? I mean, Chips Ahoy has a much better jingle, but Oreos for sure. Hideaway Beach, yes or no? Depends on the price. I would say yes in general, but not for any price. Costco hot dog or chicken bacon? I thought for sure, Chris, this came from my neighbor Kenny. I would have bet money on this. The hot dog is the answer. It's not as good. I'll be honest with you, though. There's a distinct lack of sauerkraut. I'm not a fan. Sam's Club hot dogs are better for that reason, but I picked the hot dog nonetheless. Star or Utopia? Star. Utopia or Wonder? Wonder? Discovery Class? Listen to my podcast coming out on Wednesday right here on our channel. Pizza at Hideaway Beach versus Sorrento's. Pizza at Hideaway Beach, not even a question, my friend. The chicken guava pizza, that is chef's kiss. Adults only or general public areas solo? General public areas, I think. Jamie's or Giovanni's? Giovanni's if it's Italian kitchen. Alaska or Norwegian Fjords? Alaska. NFL or college football? NFL football for sure. Roadrunner or Coyote? Coyote, always root for the Coyote. Does the printer fit in the bookcase? It does not. Tent camping or camp? Oh God, neither. But camper camping for sure. I've tried sleeping on the floor. It's not fun. Seattle or Vancouver? That's a good question. I guess Seattle, but I like Vancouver a lot. I like Vancouver better as a city. I like flying into Seattle more because it's easier. Wake up early or sleep in on a cruise? Wake up early. Take advantage. Seize the day. Water slide or fluoride or water slide? Aft room or what? Oh, wait, what? Oh, I see what you mean. I know what you mean, Jay. I still pick aft room. Yeah, I don't think that's crazy. Giovanni's or Chops? Giovanni's. Coke or Pepsi? Coke. Royal Railway? Yes. Hideaway Beach or South Beach? Hideaway Beach for the food. Not the vibe. I like South Beach better. Xbox or PlayStation? Oh, God, I haven't played any of them recently. PlayStation? I really haven't touched an Xbox or a PlayStation since the Xbox original and the PlayStation 3. Yankees or Red Sox? Come on, Ron. Why are you testing me like this? Yankees, obviously. Windjammer or Main Dining? Ooh, I think Main Dining, but I love the Windjammer. Fjords or Northern Cities Europe cruise? Northern Cities Europe. Klingon or Vulcan? Klingon? Vulcans are too pompous. San Diego or Long Beach? I guess San Diego for sure. Where is Craig Hart? I have no idea. Mr. Pibb or Dr. Pepper? Dr. Pepper. Everyone, I mean, Dr. Pepper, even like Coke would admit Mr. Pibb is a ripoff of Dr. Pepper. So Dr. Pepper for sure. How often do I sail? About once a month, once a calendar month. South Beach or Chill Island? Chill Island, I think. No, South Beach. South Beach. Blackjack or craps? If I'm winning, craps. Best money-making slot? Mo Mummy usually is a safe bet, but lately it's not been the case. So, yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's going to wrap it up here. I'll ask a couple more. Royal Caribbean or Carnival? I'm going to answer that one. Port Canaveral or Port of Miami? Canaveral because I live here. Miami because it's more beautiful for a sail away standpoint. And 150 or Chops. 150 Central Park. D would be my answer on that one. Guys, thank you all so much for joining us here. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. We got to head on out of here because it's time for bed. It's a school night. Samantha's got to go to bed. So I want to wish everybody a very good week coming up here. Thank you for joining us here. A big shout out to our super chatters today. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Hazel, Dirk, Joseph, Chris, Dad Baddick, Addie, Eric, Renee, Chris Biona again, Russ Crawford, Crasper, Chicago GP, Slew Dog, Ray and Nancy, Trina, Chris Biona again, David P, TC, Jahazel, Rai, Alexis, Ray and Nancy, Chris M, I should say, Karen, Chris Biona again, Cape Crucero, Chicago GP, and the legendary Bob Dickens. Thank you guys so much for your generosity. Thank you everybody for being here. Thank you for being part of the great community we've got here. We will be live next Monday right here on YouTube. Until then, have a great rest of your week. Stay safe out there. Do something fun like book another cruise. We'll talk again very soon right here on YouTube. Good night, everybody.